Good morning. Today is Tuesday, June 24th, 2014, and this is Before the First Cup with Zori and Lady Pitbull on UCY.TV. Good morning, lady.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. I jumped the gun again. For some reason, it's always, I can't hear anything when we first go on, so I'm thinking, oh, the music stopped. So, what can I say?
I think there's like a tiny pause between like songs.
Yeah, I don't know, but I did it again. That's 2 days in a row, so.
That's okay.
Hey, yeah, what the heck.
I'm not going to take any calls
Better to
today.
be early. Oh, no? Okay.
No, I'm not going to screw that up again. I got to put my training wheels back on the damn bike.
Oh, don't you hate that?
Yeah,
Oh, boy.
pisses me off.
Did you hear about that earthquake in Alaska?
I did. They downgraded it from an 8.0 to a 7.9.
Yeah.
It says a tsunami warning, but it seems like it would have hit by now.
Oh, they just got a small wave, they said.
Ah, right.
Yeah. And then they said there's been no reported damages or no one hurt. But vastness up there. And
apparently it was deep, deep, deep in the earth, so
yeah.
That also helps with the absorbing the shock waves.
Mm-hmm.
It's when it's close to the surface that you have a problem.
And under a city.
Oh, yeah, even worse sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, see, when I lived in the city, I was terrified of them. I mean, because I was in the big one in the San Fernando Valley. But now, it doesn't even faze me if I feel one up here because I'm not, under big buildings and things that are going to fall down and hurt me. Big glass planes, and that's where you get hurt. I mean, if you're out in the woods and there's an earthquake, you're not going to get hurt. There's no danger really there unless the earth opens up, which doesn't happen very often.
Hang on, if a tree falls, if trees start falling right and left, I mean, yeah, there's a problem out in the woods.
Yeah, but usually trees don't fall during earthquakes. They don't.
Really?
Yeah, I've never known of any trees to fall because of an earthquake. Out in the forest where trees are falling and stuff. No.
Wow.
Yeah, the only thing really scary about an earthquake is the buildings or the things around you. If you run out and there's power poles coming down and gas is escaping. But if you don't have a lot of that around you, you're going to be fine. It's just disorienting.
Well, see, I wouldn't know. I've never been in an earthquake, so you would know about it better than I.
Oh, I've been in so many.
Yeah, see, I never once felt one.
I'll tell you, if you ever do, the main thing you feel is disoriented, like your vertigo. You're off center, and it's a really kind of lost feeling. But as soon as that's over, you're fine.
Wow, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. But
Scary, but interesting.
Right, and then if you're in a structure and you can't get outside or there's a lot of power poles, just get in a doorway where it's got, more support. And, because most earthquakes just shake things around. We don't have that many really big major ones. We haven't had one since, when was that one where San Francisco, where that overpass fell, that freeway?
That was like 97, 96, something like that.
Yeah, we haven't had a real big one since then. So they aren't that often, really.
I actually had a friend that was in that earthquake. He was living in San Francisco. He said he was taking a crap on a toilet when it hit, and he ran outside, and he said the telephone poles were bending over.
Mm-hmm.
Said it freaked him out, and he came hightailing it back to Michigan.
Well, when the big one happened in the San Fernando Valley, it threw me out of bed and cracked my bedroom ceiling, and I moved the next day. That was enough for me in the city. So, we have them up here. Like I remember about 3 years ago, we had something like 56 earthquakes in one day.
Damn.
Yeah, but they were all 1s and 2s and 3s was the highest that it went. But yeah, that's not uncommon, and you're glad because that is the earth releasing pressure, and if it doesn't, well, we might explode.
Yeah. big giant super volcano.
Right. And I live between two volcanoes. Isn't that great?
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you better pray for earthquakes.
They're both active, too.
Oh, you better really pray for earthquakes. Hey, I was thinking that the only safe place you could possibly be, barring the earth, like, falling apart underneath you, is a field with nothing in it, nothing around.
Yeah, that too, but or in the mountains, in where, because trees don't fall. I've never seen a tree fall, and I've been in plenty of earthquakes. So it's the power lines and the gas, lines.
Yeah, the man-made stuff.
Yeah,
except it seems to me like if it's an 8.0 or above, it seems like it's got to take trees down. I mean, it just seems like if the Earth is literally, especially those wave ones, the ones that come in waves, It seems like, the rolling ones, it seems like the trees wouldn't be able to handle something like that.
Well, I grew up in the mountains, elevation 9,000 feet, and we had earthquakes, and I've never seen a tree fall.
Oh, all right.
So, grab a tree if nothing else.
Yeah, grab a tree. Wow, that's pretty hardcore. I hope it never happens, you know what I mean? But
oh yeah, but here you have to be prepared for that too, because your power could be out for days, and there's a lot of danger with earthquakes in cities. But that's why I don't live in big cities anymore. I when I go to San Francisco, I'm usually nervous the whole time I'm there until I leave. Because that's going to fall off. That is all down there is built on feel. It's not even real ground underneath there. And with everything down there, if they had another big one, I'm sure it's going to go under, and I'll have beachfront property.
Oh, shit. That's liquefaction in action. I just made a rhyme there.
There you go. I see that. I heard that. There we go. Okay. Have you been following this IRS thing? Have you watched any of the clips?
No, I wish we could play clips, damn it. But, no, I haven't seen the damn clips either. However, let's start off on the light note. Would you please read, or do you want me to read that? You read it.
What?
Since you found it.
On the IRS?
Yeah, the lawmaker mocks the IRS.
Well, I mean, the thing I was going to say about it, I mean, there's so much yelling, there's so many accusations, they're calling, people liars and just all these horrible things to them. But what gets me is at the end of their committees and stuff, is anyone going to get prosecuted? Is anyone going to be charged with anything after all of this, and after all the perjury? And I mean, we get threatened with perjury. If you lie, you're going to jail. But these guys lie on a regular basis. They even admit they're lying. They call them out on lying. Nothing ever happens. So why do we even have these committees?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. I have no freaking clue.
It's like a big game to them.
And
wow, I'll get extra points if I yell at this guy and call him a liar, because the people are on my side and not his. But in the end, and I was thinking back, and I kept going back over other, times like Waco, and the committee on there. And I mean, no, I can't find where anyone gets charged with anything at the end of it.
Well, no, because they'll fly and call each other names and liars and whatever, and then when the committee meeting's over, I mean, they're having lunch together. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but I mean, why are we putting out the expense of having these committees, do these investigations and all these hearings? We're paying for all that, but no one ever is accountable. No one, in the IRS, I'll bet you anything. Nobody goes to jail. I'll bet you anything. Nobody gets any charges against them. Some people might resign. Others might get promoted, but nothing's going to come of it. So
no, because they have to have a dog and pony show for the American public.
I guess.
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, they've got to be like marionettes, puppeteers, and they've got to stay the show so that people will keep, electing these fools in office.
Right, I'm doing something for you guys, so you guys pay attention. I'm going to call this guy a liar and all this, but at the end of the day, we'll go out and have dinner, and, we hope you enjoyed the show.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I just said. Yeah. That's how it works there in Washington. It's called slippery palm disorder.
Yeah, we were sitting here cracking up. I kept playing more and more of them, and they are just, I said it's a comedy hour. I refuse to even put any legitimacy to this hearing at all. I just, other than I would just for once like to see someone held accountable at the end of the day.
Can I go into that article you posted, because it totally dovetails with what we're talking about?
Sure.
Cool.
Sure.
You don't mind if I do it?
Oh, no, you do it, please.
All right. This is exactly how I feel about the whole damn situation. Here's an article that says, lawmaker mocks IRS with Dog Ate My Tax Recipients Act. Representative Steve Stockman, Republican in Texas, has introduced legislation that would afford average Americans the ability to offer a variety of dubious excuses for not having tax documents for the Internal Revenue Service after the IRS offered an incredibly dubious excuse for its failure to turn documents over to House investigators. Stockman's tongue-in-cheek legislation, the Dog Ate My Tax Recipients Act, would offer taxpayers 10 outlandish reasons for not submitting paperwork requested by the IRS. 1. The dog ate my tax receipts. Oh, that's great. 2. Convenient, unexplained, miscellaneous computer malfunction. 3. Traded documents for 5 terrorists. 4. Burned for warmth while lost in the Yukon. 5. Left on table in Hillary's book room. 6. Received water damage in trunk of Ted Kennedy's car. That's a funny one. Received water damage. 7. Forgotten gun case and sold to Mexican drug lords. 8. Forced to recycle by municipal green czar. That's good too. 9. Was short on toilet paper while camping. 10. At this point, what difference does it make?
I love those.
That's great. Really, he's pretty much freaking nailed it.
Yeah.
That was funny. Stockman introduced his bill a week after the IRS claimed that it had lost 2 years' worth of former official Lois Lerner's emails because of a computer crash. Lawmakers suspect that some of the missing emails implicate Lerner and others in an IRS plot to target conservative groups. Why, you think? Taxpayers shouldn't be expected to follow laws the Obama administration refuses to follow themselves, Stockman said in a statement. Taxpayers should be allowed to offer the same flimsy, obviously made-up excuses as the Obama administration uses, and that's exactly what we've said on here before. I like that. That was pretty funny.
It was funny, wasn't it? It was hilarious. And I found that after we had watched all these clips and we're laughing our asses off anyway, that, then I found that and I went, this is so funny. And I would like to, I don't know if I would use any of those excuses. IRS, I don't care, man. They got guns and everything now. But it would be funny to see what happens if someone does use one of those excuses. Excuse me, you can use it, why can't I?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, so just posted an awesome picture in the chat. Jimmy, that rocks. I love that picture. I saved it already to my computer. It's cool.
And another thing that was kind of comical, I thought. Hillary gets $225K from school raising tuitions. Now, this is from a woman who says, well, we were broke when we left presidency, and we aren't that rich, but look at how much just for talking. I mean, my God, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, and then crying that. Yeah, and the students are complaining because their tuition's going up. But well, yeah, if you're paying people that kind of money just for coming and talking.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so.
I mean, and Hillary to boot. I mean, who the hell
know.
wants to pay her ass to? Who wants to come and hear that dumbass speak?
Well, I guess some people they're paying. You know, they pay like $10,000, $20,000, and $30,000 a plate. You know, for food and stuff.
That's for her presidential run.
Yeah, for donations. And then I don't know. Remember yesterday we were talking about it wouldn't be long before the police here had those scanners, those X-ray cameras.
Right.
Guess what? They have a mini model, and they are being distributed to law enforcement across the country.
Yeah, dude, you talked about that yesterday.
Well, that was the ones for the military, the big ones, as big as a bread box and all. This one, now, that was for military. Now, we find out that they have them for law enforcement, and but they won't be used to see. They won't be used to look through your clothing because why? Radiation.
Oh, they actually admit that.
They admit it.
Do you have that article?
Yeah, I do. It says, police to get X-ray scanner for vehicle inspections and public safety. Handheld version of roving street scanner to snoop on contents of cars. A new portable backscatter device designed to perform X-rays of objects is set to be used by police departments to inspect vehicles as well as for public safety, according to the company behind the new scanner. The video for the handheld Mini-Z backscatter imaging scanner developed by American scientists in the Engineering Incorporated brags that it will allow operators to see more than ever in more places than ever. The scanner will be used by law enforcement, first responders, border patrol, event security, maritime police, and general aviation security in order to search for currency, drugs, explosives. Police will use the device to inspect vehicle bumpers, tires, panels, and interiors and detect IEDs. According to AS&E, the scanner represents a game changer for law enforcement and border patrol and will be used to ensure public safety. Isn't it always about public safety or national security?
Absolutely.
Yeah. However, the company admits that the device is not designed to scan people because it emits radiation. How much you want to bet they won't be scanning people? You think they're going to be going around and they ain't going to use it on people? Come on. These perverts are going to be scanning, walking down the street, all these women see under their clothes.
Oh, hell yeah. They're going to be sitting out there, like, out of strip clubs, outside of strip clubs, and be, like, having that thing. But, you know, they have to have a safe container to put that thing in.
Well, you know,
because you can't just be in a vehicle, like walking around or driving around town with a device in the back of your trunk. You know what I mean? Because you're going to cook yourself.
It's not in the back, and we've seen the trucks that when they first introduced the trucks in New York, when they were driving around, they had it right there in the front between them. They had no protection there, nothing protecting them from the radiation.
They're just cooking cops, really.
Yeah, well,
maybe this is part of the game plan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
After they subjugate us and they come and arrest everybody one by one, then the cops will be thrown at the top of the heap along with everybody else. So that's pretty much how
right, and if they're pointing it at your car, and you're in the car, how is it not going to affect you?
Well, they're gonna, like I said, it's going to cook the cops over a extended period of time.
Yeah.
I mean, their brains are going to be cooked in their heads. I mean, it's radiation. You can't.
Well, that's one of the reasons I think they have a IQ limit, because these cops can't figure this out, you know.
Well, even their radar guns emit low levels of radiation on a, when they're on, they're switched, probably even when they're switched freaking off. But, I mean, all the Wi-Fi that's going on in a cop car already, all the, it's crazy.
Well, it's all to make cops lazy. They don't really have to do any work. They can just sit and scan or sit and watch their radar. They don't have to be out there in the streets, clocking people the way they used to. It allows them to hide in little corners and point radar guns at you and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Or like when you're driving down the freeway and you've seen the Amber Alert, which is only supposed to be for Amber Alerts, you'll see, call 911 if you see someone driving erratically. Call 911 if you see this. Call 911 if you see that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep.
So, yeah. Anyway, okay, I'll go on with this. The technology is based on previous larger incarnations of X-ray scanners that was developed via trucks to conduct roving scans of other vehicles on American streets and highways. 2010, it emerged that American science and engineering had sold many of the larger devices to U.S. law enforcement agencies who were already using them on the streets for security purposes. The company's founder, Joe Rees, told Forbes that more than 500 backscatter X-ray devices were already being used domestically by U.S. authorities and were being driven past neighboring vehicles to see their contents. Commenting on the roving X-ray bans, Epic's Mark Rottenberg warned, without a warrant, the government doesn't have the right to peer beneath your clothes without a probable cause. Even airport scanners are typically used only as a secondary measure. Now, that's not true, is it? I mean, I thought...
Yes, if you don't want the pat-down, then they give you a choice of the pat-down or the X-ray scanner.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, if the scans can only be used in exceptional cases in airports, the idea that they can be used routinely on city streets is a very hard argument to make. We previously noted how the ultimate end use of body scanners would not be limited to airports and that they were going to be rolled out on the streets as mobile units that would scan vehicles at checkpoints as well as individuals and crowds attending public events. Dutch police later announced that they were developing a mobile scanner that would see through people's clothing and look for concealed weapons, and that it would be used as an alternative to random body searches in high-risk areas. So in other words, if you're going to a concert, they aren't going to bother to search you. They're just going to point this thing at you and look at you naked.
Sure.
Yeah, It says the device would also be used from a distance on groups of people. The mass scans on crowds at events such as football matches. The plans mirrored leaked documents out of the UK Home Office 3 years prior, which revealed that authorities in the UK were working on proposals to fit lampposts with CCTV cameras that would X-ray scan passengers by and undress them in order to trap terrorist subjects.
Yeah, that's unbelievable right there.
I mean, what kind of perverts are going to apply for that job, do you think?
Oh, absolutely. Child molesters up the yin-yang.
But it's funny, we just heard about the X-ray guns for the military, the big device, and I said, well, it won't be long before, but I mean, that's really fast. Next day I'm reading it's for people too, for public.
We said that yesterday, though.
Well, yeah, but yesterday when we talked about it, it was going to be used.
It was the military, but I said that obviously it's going to also come, the DOJ is going to obviously distribute this to police departments and this, I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
and I know, and that's what I meant. That was really quick from military to police, just like you said. It will be soon, but I didn't expect it to be one day.
Well, usually when it comes out in the media, in articles, it's already been done.
Oh, yeah, for years.
That's the rule of thumb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, craziness. You know, I mean,
I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no, that was it.
That was it. Okay.
Yeah, that was the end of the article.
Well, I mean, the amount of radiations in the backscatter equipment is astronomical, and people like TSA agents that operate that machinery
they're in another room.
Oh, they're in another room. Right. See, they're like insulated from it.
Yeah, like the doctors and all go behind that metal shield when they're X-raying you. But look at. Huh?
If they have these cameras like on the street in like street lights, then that thing is going to be constantly emitting radiation.
And what about people that are in radiation treatment and then they walk under that? They're getting more and more doses.
Yeah, man, well, that's the whole idea.
Well, look how much we get every day.
They want to radiate freaking everything, man. It's just, I don't know. It's in the atmosphere. They just want us dead as soon as possible. I think that's the whole, they need to get rid of 80% of the population, man, and this is what, you know, I mean, they're doing it by any means necessary at this point.
Well, look, okay, how much radiation do you get a day? There's cell phones, there's smart meters, and now they have those scanners at the grocery store. You know, it's a scanner too, so there you go. You got airports, now you got them driving around down the street, you got cops pointing radar guns at you, and we got Fukushima. And then what are the symptoms? Just like cancer. So they can blame it on cancer and not on radiation.
I'm not sure about the ones in the grocery stores. I think those run on like lasers and stuff like that.
Well, maybe, but you know, yeah.
Not exactly sure.
And you know, you got your computers. What is
anything that has Wi-Fi?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's doing that. Like you're using your cell phone in your car, or you even have your cell phone off in your car. There's still like loads and loads and loads of radiation bouncing around that little metal cage.
And every time
you know,
every time you pass one of those towers off the side of the road.
Oh yeah, then it just intensifies it just intensifies it like 1,000-fold or something. You know what I mean? Because those cell phone towers, I feel bad for those guys that have to go and service those.
Or that live by them.
Every day up and or people that live by it. I mean, you're pretty much assured that somebody is going to get cancer within your household, if not everyone within your household. And that's not a genetic defect.
Right, it's going to give you cancer, and then it's not blamed on the radiation, it's blamed on cancer.
It's blamed on a genetic defect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's, well, you know, your parent and your great-grandmother and your great-great-grandmother all had breast cancer, so the 16-year-old that has perfect, you know, everything's perfect, you know, she gets her breasts removed because her parents and her grandparents had died from cancer. And it's ridiculous, the mindset that's going on.
And, you know, I don't know, every time I see one of those cancer stickers or anything like that, or these runs for cancer, it angers me because people don't understand it's a money thing, and the more you pump money into it, the longer it will be before there's a cure.
Exactly. Exactly. That's a very good point. It really is. They're just siphoning the money. Just all this cash gets given to these so-called institutes or whatever, and they're just pocketing that crap. It's exactly what, like, when you donate to the Red Cross, you know.
Right, and how many years have they been using, I mean, all this money goes to research, right, to cure cancer.
Supposedly.
How many years have they been using the same chemo and radiation treatment to fix it?
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's their go-to, and what is it? It's freaking radiation. They want you dead. They want to hurry the process along, people.
And chemo,
shit.
I mean, even a 10-year-old child knows you don't give poison to a sick person.
Exactly. I watched them do it to a buddy of mine. And
they go down fast.
Oh my God, dude, it literally ripped holes in his intestines, and you can see his whole body just get yellow and die.
Well, they come out, they say, oh, so many people have been cured of cancers. We're really making progress. They don't come back and tell you in 5 to 7 years they die from other symptoms from the radiation.
Unless you're Kevin Blanche, damn it.
Yeah, hey, that guy.
Damn it. Yeah. You're not going to get him.
Maybe it's the F-bombs that makes him so strong.
I think so, dude. I think
I'm going to start doing that.
The F-bombs have elevated Kevin Blanche way beyond their they can't control him anymore.
Yeah, he's just too pissed off, the man, that nothing wants to go in his body. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I keep trying to tell people, buying those pink ribbons and giving money for this and that, all you're doing is making it going to be longer before they'll allow a cure.
Yeah, well.
If they ever stop making money, all these bills, can you imagine how many bills, almost as bad as the pharmaceutical company. They gotta be making billions upon billions.
Absolutely. The University of Michigan here in Ann Arbor, I call it the Jew of M. And holy crap, they're just doing this and they're raking in so much bank. And that's
why whenever they hear of a real cure, they'll denounce it right away.
Right. They keep doing it, the same thing. They keep pushing through these docs, through the universities, that this is how it works. I don't even know why they're even taking 4 years or 8 years or 12 years of freaking college, because all they're doing is just prescribing meds. Or you know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, you have this, and I don't know, man. It's just
misdiagnosed is the medical misdiagnosed is the #1 killer in this country. People think it's drunk driving or car wrecks and stuff. No, it's misdiagnosis that is the largest killer.
Right, and then follow closely after that is pharmaceutical usage. And what it does to your body. I mean, if they were researching plant-based materials, and they've got the cure for most of this shit. All it is environmental pollutants. I mean, they know this. They just need more environmental pollutants, vaccines and things like that you take internally so that you'll die that much faster.
Well, with all the immigrants coming in, that it ain't going to be long before they're going to force vaccination and inoculations on everyone.
That's right. Absolutely.
Because they're sending them everywhere in the United States. So wherever they say Massachusetts, okay, everyone has to be inoculated for this and that and that.
Yep, and that's right, because we've got ourselves another crisis here.
Mm-hmm.
And all the disease coming over, and everybody's got to get it now. Everybody's got to get... This is exactly how they're putting the clamp down on us. And, and like we said, with these backscatter X-rays machines, like, suddenly cropping up everywhere, it's it's a portable death. You might as well be carrying uranium in your suitcase.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Yeah. To work every day. That's how bad it is. They've got to have a separate armored vehicle just for that device alone. Really, if any police department out there is worth your salt, you figure this out. It should have its own container ship.
Right.
That's how toxic this damn thing is. And anybody who's going to be holding it or using it or pointing it, holy crap, man. It's like a ray gun, like a zzz. It's going to zap everything in its path. Especially if you're using it over and over and over.
Right, and if you're already getting radiation treatments for cancer, then you're really in danger of it.
Well, yeah. I mean, it just exacerbates it, and you can't. I've always wondered, how in the hell are you going to treat cancer with more radiation when it's probably radiation poisoning to begin with?
Well, they say because they centralize it.
Yeah.
They only send it to one place, but so
maybe
I think stop buying these pink things and all these things to show you support. Make yourself a little sticker. Go, I don't buy these things to show I support cancer research.
Yeah, my gym that I was in had a big old event. It was a huge event. and it was called Barbells for Boobs.
Yep.
And they raised, quite a few thousand. And
that's just one place. They do this every day across the country.
Oh, I know. And yeah, little events, you know what I mean? And it's just, it's ridiculous. And I said a couple of quick quips at the end of like the workout session about when, just before the event, showed up just to see what people's reaction would be, and nobody said shit to what I said. I was like, yeah, let's cure it with radiation. Yeah, give them more radiation. And people did not appreciate that when I said that, but I don't care.
Right. And they take advantage of families who has had people die of cancer, who has had family members that survived cancer. Well, those are the big men. They just throw everything into it. And then, and they still don't figure it out after the person has died 5 years later. They don't connect the two because, they were cured.
Right.
It's sad, but it's true. And any doctor that even comes close to proving a cure, his reputation's destroyed. He's discredited, and mostly put out of business because you can't stop their money making, and that's what it is. People die, babies are dying, kids are dying every day, so they can do all their experiments, and doctors' offices and stuff, they get new toys is what it is, and they can't wait to try them out on everybody.
Right. Oh, absolutely. They're not thinking about radiation coming off of that thing. I mean, it's ridiculous. People who travel frequently and go through the x-ray machines because you think it's saving you time, right. You're just giving yourself cancer because those backscatter things are like 1,000 x-rays, and that they say, oh no, it's safe, it's just like one x-ray. Bullshit. Go look it up.
And
look
plus, one guy showed how he could take a gun right through it and not have it pick it up. I remember, and he did it just to prove it, but he taped it on his side right along his body, and it didn't pick it up.
Wow.
Even the naked scanner thing, and they showed the picture and everything. But, and how many things get on airplanes every day anyway? What, I forget how many guns got, past security and stuff. It's all a big joke.
And most of these terror attacks on the soil is conducted and orchestrated by the FBI anyway. So we need to be safe from the FBI.
Right.
Someone needs to make us safe from them.
Yeah, it was like I said, when the reason they got the body scanners was because of the underwear bomber.
Right.
And the shoe bomber, if you were really, really wanting to blow up that airplane, you would not have sat in the aisle seat and had a match out there trying to light your shoe on fire. Like, that's not going to be noticed. You would go into the bathroom and blow it up.
Right.
So anyone with common sense can see this, and yet they go along with it. This terrorist thing, our government is the terrorist. It's a boogeyman. And I got over being scared of the dark years ago, and most people in this country need to get over being scared of the dark, being scared of the boogeyman.
Well, this is how we're being kept under control, is living through fear.
Yeah, well, I ain't scared. I like I said, I got over being afraid of the boogeyman when I was probably 6 or 7, and I ain't going for it. I'm so sick of this, and no accountability. I'm just ready to pull my hair out. And when I hear somebody say, oh, I don't get into politics, well, excuse me. My God, this is your life. It affects every day of your life. How can you say, I don't get involved in politics, I don't pay attention to it? That's why we're in the trouble we're in.
Right, exactly.
Sorry, it makes me so angry.
Well, these devices are definitely dangerous, and police departments need to take a second look at exactly what their kind of toys they're playing with.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we're having a big to-do here in Reading next month. Dane is going to be speaking. Rosalind's going to be speaking at a city council meeting.
About what?
About geoengineering.
There you go.
And, I mean, they are getting like 5 minutes to speak, and they're going to be covered by the media. And I'm going to take a different avenue with it when I get up there. I'm going to tell them that I'm going to ask them in way of a question that they don't have to answer. And I'm going to put, if you have a business and you have an employee and you issue that employee to do something that is the reason he was hired for, and he refuses to do it, and then you go back a second time and he still refuses to do it, do you keep that employee? And by the way, this is the second time we have brought this up in front of this board. And that's all I got to say. Because they didn't do anything about it the last time, and we had them there for hours with us all going up and talking and saying things. Even they cut Dane off because Dane was making too much sense. But, you know, and on the 15th, we're going to go back again, and that's going to be my put on it because they don't seem to want to, you know, I don't know why they're being paid off or whatever, but you know what? What I'm saying is if you don't do something about it this time, you're going to be out of employment.
Right. Well, listen, if they cut Dane off the first time, then Dane should really get up there first and speak.
Well, see, they have a timer, and we get to speak 5 minutes this time. Last time it was 3 minutes. But, you know, this one's going to be a big one, though, because Dane's going to be there, and he's got a lot more credibility than he did the last time we had this. Plus, Rosalind is coming down, and she's going to be speaking, and there's going to be other credible people there speaking besides just, you know, us, the citizens here. Well, but this is it's the City Council Air Quality Control Board we're going to be in front of. This is their job.
Right.
Yeah. And
well, if I was you guys, I'd make sure that Dane got in the front of that line somehow.
Oh, Dane will get to speak.
Well, I mean, in the front, so that they, you know, if he goes into the front, they're going to be less likely to cut him off.
Well, it's according to, you put your name, you sign in when you get there if you want to speak, and then they just go, you know, first come. Yeah, well, but, I mean, last time, there was standing room only.
That's why he needs to get there as early as he can.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, you know, and they see him, and they just go, oh. But last time we did this, they didn't do anything. We never heard anything further about it. That's why we're doing this one. And, I mean, it's being posted all over Facebook, all over the place. And so I'm really excited about this one. So today's city council meeting is about state of Jefferson. I'm going to that. And then.
Oh, yeah? Are you going to be speaking at that one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So what are you going to say to them?
Well, it's like, I'm going to say, when I moved here in 72, everybody had a job. There was the mill was going, the railroad was going, mining was going, and everybody had a job. And there were so many stores. There were 7 bars in 2 blocks. Come on, you got to be doing good for that. Yeah, and all of them always busy, and it was awesome. And now there's nothing up here because Sacramento votes us down on everything. We want to open up lumber because logging, when they go through and they log an area, right after them comes in the tree planters, and they replant the trees, and plus they clear out all the underbrush when they do this, which keeps the forest healthy. Well, since they've outlawed logging, the trees are dying. There's so much undergrowth that it's strangling them. So, you know, the state of Jefferson needs to happen. We have no representation down in Sacramento. It doesn't matter how we vote because, you know, LA has over 30 representatives. We have 3. How do you win a vote?
Right.
Yeah, so, yeah, I think it's going pretty good. I'm hoping that we have standing room only and that they say, yes, we will go with it.
Go with what?
With the state of Jefferson.
Oh.
That's what this is about, you know, declaring that we will join in on the state of Jefferson to get it a separate state from Southern California. And we're like two separate states anyway. Southern California is as different as night and day from Northern California.
Right.
Different problems, different way of thinking, everything. So I'm really hopeful. But I'll go give my 2 cents worth.
There you go. Well, that's what you got to do. I mean, so you're doing that when? This morning?
Yeah, right after the show.
Right on. Well,
yeah, my roommate's going. All my friends are going. I told them I blackmail them, but it's okay. We got bodies there.
Yeah, good.
So, and people, you got to get involved. You can't expect anything to change in your community if you don't get involved. You can't expect, and you can't go right up to, the top. You got to start at the bottom and work your way up. Change your community first. And we're going to tell these guys if they don't do their job, they're losing it.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, so, yeah, it should be a good one this time. I mean, sometimes people get a little heated, but I've never heard anyone get thrown out because they were, cussing at them. But tempers fly.
Absolutely.
And the problem is you can't ask them a question in these hearings, and that aggravates me. You can only speak for 5 minutes, but you can't ask them questions and have them answer them. It's just for you to speak on it and they're to listen.
Wow.
So, yeah.
It's not like anything's going to be done about it.
I don't know. There are, every time there's more and more people. I mean, it's undeniable here. You cannot deny that, because we get sprayed so heavy, we don't even know what a blue sky looks like anymore.
Wow.
From morning till night, every day.
Well, that's probably why that we are getting all year rain. It's going east of you. Mm-hmm. And there's floods and stuff in the Great Plains right now because of one storm after the other. So,
right, and if they can make it rain, why do we have a drought?
Well, because it's going completely over you and then reforming in the middle of the country. And it rained all this morning. It pretty much just stopped raining. It's been a nice, slow, gentle rain, and it's been raining like that for the past week. We've only had
is, in Vietnam, they proved that they can make it rain wherever they want. So why do we have a drought?
Because they've got it's food control. They're trying to create a food shortage, and they're doing a great job of it.
Oh yeah, people can't afford to grow a garden. One guy's power bill, this lady and gentleman, and people are up in arms about the water bill, went up to $1,282 a month.
Wow! Call the UN in.
They are calling the UN because how can you cut off people's water because they don't have money?
They're doing that here in Detroit.
That's what I heard. Yeah, and I mean, we can't even go to our government. We have to go to the UN.
Yeah, they're saying half the people can't pay their freaking water bill here in Detroit. And guess what? There's a freaking river running through Detroit. There's a lot of water here.
Uh-huh.
I mean, there's rain coming down. So it's all a plan this is a plan to kill off America, and they need
the drought here now. The reason their bill went up so high, and most people said they didn't see any notices given. It said that you will be penalized if you use over this amount of water.
Mm-hmm.
But most people didn't see that. You know how many people read the little inserts in their bills,
right?
Most people don't. And they said that they had signs up. They were saying it on the radio, on TV. I never heard anything about this until I seen it in the paper that people were up in arms because they can't pay $1,000 water bills, or their water bills are tripling and quadrupling, so they can't grow food because you can't water.
Exactly. This is part of the plan.
Yep. And they're going to make lots of money because then you look at the price hike and all this money, and then it's crazy. And nobody seems to get it except for, all of us. But
right. That's
trouble.
why it would be good for the state of Jefferson to become a state in and of itself.
Right, and we would open up logging, and most people say, "Oh, don't do it because you're deserting." They act like we're deserting the United States. We're just separating from a state where we have no representation, and people don't get. And then their other one is, "Well, I don't see how you can support it." Well, like I said, when I moved up here, everyone had a job. Because there was logging, the railroad then, therefore,
sure,
more money.
Northern California is great when it's raining. I mean, it's typically, isn't that where like the green triangle, the Emerald Triangle is up in Northern California?
Yeah, and we have snow skiing in the summer. We have water skiing in the.
Yeah.
We have all this. We have fishing. We have a lot of tourism, but. When you have logging, we have the resources. We do.
Sure, all you got to do is legalize hemp. Bam.
And it is legalized in California. And, people will be... Our problem, I think, once we get statehood, is too many people are going to want to move there. Because we're not going to have all these penalty fees and permits. If you own your own land... It's your land.
Oh yeah, people would be flocking to a place like that. You're right.
Right, and everyone had a job when I moved up here. One of the reasons my husband and I split up is we had to move to the city because he was a logger, and I couldn't take it, so we got divorced. But it destroyed thousands of people's lives. So you go from everyone having a job to nobody having a job, hardly. And, it was devastating, made it almost ghost towns. So we can get that back if they let us separate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. So, yeah, we got to get it. That's all there is to it. Southern California is just killing us.
Yep. It's a freaking, giant noose around your necks.
And we are around their necks, too. They don't know our problems. We don't understand their problems because we are so completely different. We might as well be two different states.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
what kind of process does it take to become another state?
We have to get so many counties to agree, make out a declaration for the state of Jefferson. Now, when a county does that, what people have to understand, when a county does that, they aren't obligated to do it. It's saying that they're for it, but, there's no legal thing that says you have to. That's what we're trying to get across to the counties, just so we can get it done. So you have to have so many counties involved. Then the hardest part is it has to be passed by California's legislation.
I see.
We have to convince the representatives of Southern California that they will benefit from this as well as we will. And Mark Bard can do that. This man has an answer for everything, and he has worked this out to the letter. And it would be more beneficial because, look, at the welfare up here, because there's no jobs, and we won't be taking federal grants. So we won't be obligated to the federal government for, everything from schooling to what you produce, what you work, how you work. Yeah, if you don't take the grants from the government, they don't really have any say over what you do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the key right there, actually.
And what will happen is, if you're poor and you need help, we'll go back to the old way before welfare. There's charities, there's churches, but there'll be work. So I don't think we'll have that big of a problem.
No, I agree, but it's going to be really difficult to convince other counties. How many other counties support this?
Let's see. So far, all the way down to Sacramento, though. Yuba City, Sutter County, they're on board. This Dale something, I can't remember, but they're thinking about it. We may have Trinity, but this goes all the way down to Sacramento. Yuba City is the first city out of Sacramento, and they're on board. And Siskiyou County's on board. That's the biggest county, one of the biggest counties in California.
Cool.
And so and we're going in today to, convince them that we want it. More and more counties are coming in on it every day.
That's great. So
but then the problem is this guy down south in Silicon Valley is trying to get it on the ballot to separate California into 6 different states, and Silicon Valley has like almost one where they have all the money.
Oh, that's interesting.
But if it did pass, state of Jefferson would pass too, because we are added in the division, his 6th division.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and this guy's got lots of money, but I guess they say he's getting more and more signatures for it, and so they think it's going to be on the ballot. Great. But if you look at that, six states of California, there'll be West California, East California, South California, Central California, and Northern California.
That's real original. How stupid is that?
I know. And then Silicon Valley, where all the money is, and Malibu and all them, that will be, they'll have all the money, and the rest of the state is poor and on welfare. So come on. Ours is a lot more figured out. And, we also have ranching up here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And food production, too. So really there is a lot with people that, what angers me most, and I even told this to my landlady when we were talking about it. She goes, but we can't sustain, we don't have enough money. And I go, you know what, instead of saying we can't, go to just one meeting and ask those questions, and then say you don't think it'll work or you think it'll work. It's these people that won't even go and listen, but they have all these opinions that irritate me most.
That's typical for everyone. Yeah. Seriously.
I'll go listen to anything, and then if they change my mind, fine. If they don't, fine. I don't care. It's not that big a deal. All I want is to know the truth and know the information so I can make a good judgment call on anything.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then they'll go and they'll vote for the idiots.
Right, but I don't know. People here are really getting, people that used to say, you guys are nuts, are in there speaking now because it's so bad here. It is so bad. Ask SLC Mike, even in Oregon, he goes, my God, Dodie, I couldn't believe how much you really are getting sprayed here.
Wow, no shit, huh?
Right now, I could walk outside, and I'll bet you anything I can see 10 to 15 chemtrails.
And see, here's the thing, is that he used to live in a spot where he watched those chem planes take off and land.
And he thought they were bad. He knows now that the West Coast is getting hit even harder.
Jeez, man. And so they go, and it comes over us. It comes over the entire freaking country.
Right. People that say, oh, well, we're not getting sprayed. Yes, you are, because they go by the wind currents. That wind carries.
That's right. It does.
And it's got to be the UN. No one else has that kind of money, not even the United States. And why would we be...
It's all freaking David Rockefeller.
Right. Why would we be chemtrailing over Belgium and the UK? It's got to be the UN.
Yeah. Yeah. They're just, they don't have to invade our shores. They're attacking us from above.
And we could stop them from spraying over the state of Jefferson, too, but I don't know what good that would do because the wind current still carries.
It's going around the entire world.
And there's no law against it.
No.
No law in the books. Anyone. You could go up, if you had the money for a plane, and spray up into our atmosphere.
Yeah, if you had enough money.
Mm-hmm. The only thing you can't do is do it over another country, but you can do it over your own, and our government can do it to us.
You know what? That doesn't make sense because this crap goes into the jet stream, and it carries around the world. Hello?
And there's planes around the world.
Yes.
Go to SkyderAlert.com and go to pictures, photos. People from all over the world are sending photos in by the hour. You just go to the list. All over. It's not just here, and that many people I don't think are wrong.
No.
And too, on July 15th, when we have our geoengineering thing, the lady who organized this sent our representatives the scientific proof that this is going on, so they can't say, well, we haven't seen any documentation.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I get excited over things like this. I think we can make a difference. And we're showing that we're persistent. We didn't just come that once and then just say, okay, well, you do something or you don't. That's okay. No, we're coming at him again.
So Dane's going to have documentation with him on this.
Oh, of course.
This time.
Yeah, Don. Well, no, Dane had it last time too. But the lady who organized this sent the representatives each a packet of documentation too.
Okay, so they can't say that this time.
Right. There you go. Yep. Because, see, when Dane spoke last time, he handed them the documentation, but, it's during the thing, and they can't be listening to people and reading at the same time. Well, this time, we sent them the documentation ahead of time.
Okay.
So, yeah. And we want people with little kids to show up in there. I mean, this is affecting every person on the planet, really. And, like my yard, I see it most in my yard. I go out, and I never see any spiders hardly at all here. But yet all my plants have this webbing on them. And I brought it in and looked through the microscope at this webbing, and it is not spider webs.
No, that's horrible.
Yep. And so you're breathing that every day.
I've seen those webbings before. I mean, literally, if you block out that sun until you just see the outer corona of it, and then you look up, you can literally see webbing flying through the frickin' air sometimes. It's really crazy.
You can watch it landing sometimes. I watch it down, and the next day I go out there, and it is back.
I have seen it for myself, so I know exactly what the hell it is.
Right, and you're breathing that, and that's just the parts you can see. Right. And who knows what's in the nanoparticles that they've discovered in them now.
God, man, that's what freaks me out the most out of even like the aluminum and the barium and all the other crap. The nanoparticles.
Like those with nature, with herbs and with flaxseed oil is a good one for fighting that and stuff, but when it comes to the nanoparticles, they can be programmed, and the worst scenario is we all have them in, and they've been programmed to, when they pull a switch, we all get sick and die within 10 days. That's been brought up, and that's me.
Well, I mean, it's in birds, it's in the fish, it's in the food chain, and I'm looking over right now, and I can see that doe across the river. It's in her, too. I mean, it's in
our food, in our soil.
Yes, everything.
Yeah,
water.
Check on your soil. And
she's eating nanoparticles right freaking now. I mean, she's beautiful over there.
Aww.
But, yeah, it's really cool checking it out. Like being on the air with you fine people and watching this doe across the way. It's really awesome.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to float down the river here in a couple of days. I mean, I need it, and it's awesome. You need that. I mean, there's no communication at all. You're just out on the river with friends, and you're floating down, having a few drinks, talking, laughing, and just enjoying nature. It's so... I don't know, it energizes me and gets me through all this shit.
That's good. I've not yet gone down this river. The end of the river is Fermi 2, which is a nuclear power plant. And I know it doesn't go upriver or upstream or whatever, but man, just the thought of that.
Oh, I have my own raft, so we don't have to rent it, and, we have all the safety gear, and the river, it flows, I guess, about 7 miles an hour.
Oh, that's real nice. That's like a lazy river.
Yeah, it is. And we just float. There aren't any rapids this part. We go up to the next town, and then get dropped off, and we have a car down at the park here. And it'll take about 8 hours if we just float along all day, and we
that's
take
awesome.
Food and drinks. And then if it's a short day, we go to the other landing, and it takes 3 hours. So.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yep, and you forget about all that out there. It's so, I don't know, relaxing, and the laughing, and the and then the quietness, and it's just and you see deer and all these critters along the river. It's awesome.
That's awesome. That is super cool. When are you going to do that?
In a couple of days. The girls are all talking about it now. We have birthdays on the river. We have,
that's cool.
Yeah, we float down the Girls' Day, Girls and Guys' Day. It doesn't cost anything. That's the thing. People need to get out and relax, and this is something I have on my own raft, and it holds 6 people, and we can float down, and it don't cost nobody nothing.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it's good. You actually communicate with your friends. No cell phones allowed on it. Nothing except us.
Right.
And our cameras. We take a lot of funny pictures.
I bet. That sounds awesome.
It is.
And it's a neat summer thing to do, especially if you're in the freaking hundreds like you are.
Mm-hmm. Only you can't go swimming in the water. That's the only problem.
Just because why?
Because it's so cold, you will die. More people die from hypothermia in that river than drowned.
Oh, yeah.
They keep it so cold for the salmon.
Yeah.
I mean, you get weak from hypothermia within minutes of getting in that water.
Man, don't you guys like fish along the way and grab some salmon?
I don't fish.
Oh.
I don't like hurting the fish. I don't know. I can't.
I can't believe you just said that.
I can't believe. How do they know?
God.
How do you know that hook doesn't hurt that fish? Have you ever got
hell yeah, it hurts. It hurts like a bitch, and then it hurts like a bitch when they kill them, and then eat them. Yum, yum, yum. I'm sorry.
I don't eat fish, so.
I'm on the other side of that.
I can eat fish, like catfish, I love it, but I can't kill them. Somebody else has to do that.
Well, I mean, there may be a time when you may
I'll probably starve to death.
Learn how to do it. I mean...
Well, I watch my friends. I could do it, but I mean, I can't look when they pull the hook out. It's just, oh my God.
I watched my grandfather. I grew up watching my grandfather dress fish, man. He fished every day off the intercoastal waterways in Florida. And I just grew up like that. My grandfather.
Well, my parents
fishermen.
I mean, we had a trailer on the Colorado River where we sent every summer because they fished. When we were home, they were out at the pier on the weekend fishing. I tried fishing one time when I was a teenager. I caught a sardine. What everybody else was using for bait, and they all laughed at me, and I said, screw it. So then I would go buy bait and pour it out there for the seals to come around, and then I got banned from the pier.
Oh, my God. Jeez. That's kind of like getting banned from the pub, I guess.
Yeah. I wasn't allowed on the pier anymore. Man, those fishermen were so pissed at me.
Banned from the pier. That's funny. That's a punk song, you know.
Oh, it was. Oh, I like that. Yeah. Yeah, so I've been around fishermen all my life. I just have never gotten into it. I go fishing with friends, but I don't fish. I just go out there to be out in nature and stuff.
I remember one year, it was when the smelt were running, and my dad got out there with a freaking smelt net. And, oh my God, we ate smelt for freaking a year. It was amazing. It was totally amazing.
Yeah, see, there's so many fishermen here. If I ate fish, I mean, everybody's always offering me fish. Now, what I do like is fresh rivers trout. Rainbow.
Oh, heck yeah. Oh my God, there's nothing better.
And we have a lot of that, rainbow trout. Lots of trout, lots of bass. And the salmon, you only see it once a year when they're coming back up.
Right. Oh my gosh, we've got a salmon run here in Michigan. Everybody goes up to Manistee, which is on the west side of the state, right on the lake. And they go up the dam, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There on the Manistee River, and the people line. I mean, during that time, they're just lining the river on both sides, just snagging salmon all up and down it. It's pretty cool. They call it salmon camping. Everybody goes and hangs out and catches salmon all up and down. So, are you there?
Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay.
That's all right. See, there's a light, gentle rain here right now.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
It's it's coming down, but it's coming down just ever so slightly.
God, yesterday I was out, I planted my sweet potatoes and my carrots, and I swear I was putting that hose up in the air just to get cooled off. I was so hot.
How high did it get?
I'm not sure because I didn't look yesterday, but it was in the hundreds.
Dude, I feel so bad for you out there. I do.
Well, normally, unless I'm doing something like that, that takes energy, I don't mind it. Because I stay inside a lot, or like I said, I go down to the river, or I wait until towards evening to do things. But I just had to get that planning done, and I was out there, and it's just, yeah. People die of this heat here. Like, we've had it to where it was up in like 112 for 7-8 days. That's when it gets dangerous.
When was that?
Last year.
Oh, last year. Jeez.
Yeah, because my cooler broke down right in the middle of it.
Oh my God,
I have great landlords. They went out and bought me a brand new one the next day.
Oh, that was good.
But the one day, I mean, me and Linda, we were talking about buying a swimming pool because, man, we were out at the hose just watering on ourselves. Come back in, go back out and water. Yeah, so.
Jeez, and they're going to start making that illegal.
Well, yeah.
Water consumption, holy crap. That's terrible. I feel bad for you.
Well, I like it, though. You're adjusted to it. I feel bad for you guys with the humidity. I would rather in 110-degree weather than back there with your 70 and 80% humidity.
We're getting that next week, dude. By next weekend, we're supposed to be in the 90s with, like, freaking 75, 80% dew points here.
Man, I don't know. That was the only thing that bothered me when I traveled the United States was the humidity.
So mark my words of next weekend. I think she's gonna put a replay on. I think.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you. Are we gonna be on all week?
I'm not sure. We'll have to find out. Find out from Jules what's up. I think she's gonna be still up north. I think she went on
vacation for a week.
Yeah, vacation.
Yeah.
So, which is cool. She deserves it.
Yeah, you gotta get away once in a while just for your sanity.
Oh, God, yeah. This stuff is just way too, what's going on is just way too hardcore and intense just to be, like, on it all the time like this. It's very difficult to do this.
It isn't as easy as you would think, huh?
Well, like the last thing I was going to say is this time next week or whatever, maybe on Saturday night if I get on after last cup, I'm going to be bitching about the heat and humidity. I'm going to be totally going, so I'm soaking today in while I can because this is like one of the last days of it. And then summer starts, bing, like all at once.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Excuse me. Okay, do you have something else you want to cover?
Sure. I can find something here. We talked about the
IRS, the earthquake. I mean, there was a lot.
There's so much. It's like, where the hell do you go? I mean, I
had to reboot, but yeah. And mostly it's IRS all over the place, And I guess they got some new documentation about Benghazi. I've seen, but I can't seem to find the article now.
Yeah.
But new, and there again, no accountability. I think we should vote to get rid of all these committees. They're wasting time. We're paying them with no results. So, we should get rid of these committees. They don't do anything. Then nothing changes with them.
Holy shit.
What?
Hang on. I'm trying to find this article here.
Oh, okay.
Saying, that there is a Bill and Hillary Clinton musical coming in New York. Did you hear about that?
No.
It's called Clinton the Musical.
It's a musical show?
Yeah.
A play like?
Yeah, it says fans already got You're welcome, America. A final night with George W. Bush. Now the Clintons are getting their moment in the New York stage spotlight. Clinton the Musical will make its New York stage premiere as part of the New York Musical Theater Festival. The show description, it's hard enough being president by yourself. Bill Clinton's problem is that there are two of him. Literally, Clinton follows two Bill Clintons and Hillary on their quest to save their presidency, change for America, and prove that politics is a show business for ugly people.
Oh, man.
That's a WTF.
Oh, my God. Are they going to bring in Lewinsky?
It says the show, which will run July 18th through the 25th at the Pershing Square Signature Center, say that 10 times fast, was presented at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe, where it earned a nomination for Best Musical and subsequently transferred to King's Head in London. Theater Mania reports lots of 90s-era Clinton figures make an appearance in the 2-hour show, including Newt Gingrich, Kenneth Starr, and Monica Lewinsky.
Oh, my God.
Wow, man. That's pretty messed up. Yikes. So that's actually real.
That
was,
who is going to, I mean, my God, and even Lewinsky makes an appearance?
Yeah, like on her fucking knees. Stupid, silly sod of a cow.
Oh, jeez. I wonder who's playing Clinton and who's playing Hillary.
It's Hillary. Two Clintons? I don't know, man.
Are they going to cover all the murders?
Yeah.
Where are your
bitch?
Yeah, where's all your security that you had in those days?
Are they going to cover his Mena, Arkansas days of just mountains of coke on his desk? I don't think they're going to go there.
Oh, come on. Let's have the real Clinton and Hillary history.
Yeah, man. Whitewater. They're probably going to mock Whitewater in there and just dangle it in everybody's faces and go, ha 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 ha, Whitewater, ha ha, and laugh and laugh and laugh. Those bastards. It just pisses me off. They're just shoving this shit in our faces, right? And just rubbing our noses in shit.
Well, why not? Nothing ever happens to them. No accountability. They can do or say anything.
It's just, I mean, come on, people. It's time to get freaking pissed off, all right?
I mean, when you can say, well, what does it matter about our American citizens being killed? You can say or do anything in this country without people getting angry.
Well, she really meant by that was, what does it matter? It was our guys who were putting the freaking guns in there and the weapons in there in the freaking first place.
Yeah, but, you know, we know the truth, that they were, the reason that was a deterrent so they could run guns.
Sure.
But that's not going to come out. But, you know, it even taken in context, that's a pretty shitty thing to say.
Yeah, well, sure.
Flat out, you know.
She's not going to get held accountable.
Oh, no. And now they're saying she has a heart problem.
I hope so.
I know.
Jeez, man. But then again, she could turn out like freaking Dick Cheney with his cyborg heart.
Oh, jeez. Probably.
Do you guys imagine Hillary Clinton with a cyborg heart? Holy crap, you guys. I mean, this is not good.
And, you know, Cheney isn't he's back with Halliburton, but yet he's on Face the Nation and Meet the Press and all this, saying his shit again. When everybody hates the man, he can't hardly leave the country without, you know, being convicted of war crimes everywhere in the world. And yet people are still listening to him here.
Right. Oh, my God. This is another WTF Clinton thing. Holy shit. I'm not going to read this whole thing because I don't want to puke. This is enough. I'll read just the headers.
Okay.
Chelsea Clinton. I tried to care about money, but couldn't.
Oh, God. So no no wonder you got so much of it. Why should you?
She's the daughter of former President Bill Clinton and ex-Secretary of State Hillary Clinton explained in a recent interview why she left lucrative professions and opted for working with her family's philanthropic foundation. Yeah, right.
No money there, huh?
Quote, I was curious if I could care about money on some fundamental level, but I couldn't, she said. Oh my God, dude. I mean, really? Did I just read that?
Well, you don't have to care about money when you have that much money.
Oh my God. No, hell no. I mean, yeah, when you have it coming out your every orifice in your family's history, yeah, you don't have to care about money. It's ridiculous. I'd like to see her, actually really try and live without money. Come to Detroit, and then we'll spin you around. We'll put a blindfold on you, Chelsea. Spin you around in the middle of Detroit, and then set you go with nothing on your way and see if you can get out alive. Get out on your own with no money.
Right. No credit cards, no debit cards, no nothing.
Nothing.
No chauffeur.
Not even a bulletproof vest. See if you can get out.
Right. I mean, I wonder when the last time she actually had to spend money to get anything. I mean, they have credit cards, and a lot of places, it seems, I guess I've heard that they just give them stuff, as complimentary whatever.
Just going to work for the family's philanthropic foundation.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't remember what the hell it's called. It's horrible, and it's just nothing but the Clintons just pocketing shitloads of.
What does their foundation do? I've never heard of it.
Oh my God, it's Bill Clinton's big thing. He has all these stars. Oh my God, he has all these freaking. I think it's actually called the freaking Clinton Foundation. If I'm not mistaken. Anybody in the Cupid doll chat room know Clinton's Foundation? The name of that? I think Gringo took off. He would know. But it just makes me freaking sick. It just makes me sick. I can't.
I mean, you hear about Bill Gates and their organization, what they do. I hear about that all the time, but I've never heard about the Clintons having something like a foundation, huh?
Right. Oh yeah, they've got a big ass foundation. Here, I'll find it here. Let's see.
So, wow. I didn't know that. So she, in other words, just went to work for them. What, they don't pay her? I don't know. How can somebody that, well, of course they don't. People with that much money don't care about money because they've never been without it.
It's called the Clinton Foundation. I was right.
Okay. I wonder what are they? I wonder if they're into inoculations and vaccines and all that too. I wouldn't doubt it.
Oh hell yeah, they are. Bill, Hillary, and Chelsea Clinton Foundation. That's what it's called. Originally, the William J. Clinton Foundation is a non-profit foundation established by former President of the United States, Bill Clinton, with the stated mission to strengthen the capacity of people throughout the world to meet the challenges of global interdependence. Wow, that's freaking evil. Holy
God.
shit. Oh my God, global interdependence. Really? Seriously? The foundation focuses on 4 critical areas. Oh, here we go. Health, security, economic empowerment, leadership development, and citizen service, and racial, ethnic, and religious reconciliation.
What about the pervert meetings, to try, to cure being a pervert?
Well, that's what comes under health.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I should have known that.
Health, 4 critical areas: health, security, which means he's got his
yeah, he's all for taking away guns
in the vaccine, the whole vaccine thing's under health. He's got his grubby mitts into the police state, which is security. Economic empowerment, well, we know that's the opposite. You know what I'm saying? He goes into third world countries and economic empowers himself economically. Leadership development, yeah, we know what that means. And citizen service, you mean slavery? Here we go. And racial and ethnic and religious reconciliation. We know what that is. That means one world religion. One race. All right? Everybody's a slave. That's what these words really mean. It's really sick.
And I think assassin schools should be added in there, and drug running.
Right, exactly. Well, I think that comes under economic empowerment.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. They just change. When they want to deter attention, they just change the name.
That's right. That's exactly what they do. It says the foundation works principally through partnerships with like-minded individuals, organizations, corporations, and governments. Oh, boy. That means they got all the freaking bases covered here under the Clinton Foundation. Often serving as an incubator for new policies and programs. This is exactly what this shit says, you guys. They have offices located in New York City and Little Rock, Arkansas.
Well, so they're still they're still in the lawmaking business. It sounds like.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what the thing just described. I mean, they serving as an incubator, which means they hatch ideas for new policies and programs.
Yeah.
In relation to like-minded individuals, meaning the freaking authoritarians, and the organizations, their little Clinton Foundation here, and maybe a Bill Gates organization, corporations, well, maybe Microsoft, and governments. Well, here we go. That pretty much rounds it all off. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and I'm guilty of this too, but I was trying to find out what went on at Bilderberg this year, because remember when we first found out, everybody was on top of it, including me. I couldn't get enough information about it, and now I didn't even pay attention to it this year, and that's terrible. I'm getting as bad as the news because I'm not going back and following it, and I guess they're not having as many people there going out, protesting it, and that's where we're slacking. I think I'm trying to find out, and I'm going to try and do better, but we can't not continue investigating and bringing these things out like the mainstream media does. They give you a headline, then that's it. It's forgotten, gone.
Well, here you go. I've got something to say to that. Okay. You're in Northern California there, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
So how far away is the Bohemian Grove from you?
It's probably 4 hours. I'm not sure. It's over on the coast. I'm way inland. I'm in the mountains.
I see. So it took 4 hours to get there, huh?
But something like that. I'm not. I know it's above San Francisco. I'm not sure how far up, but yeah.
It's in the Redwood Forest. Wherever that is.
So, the redwoods. It's according to where the Redwood Forest goes a long ways.
Oh, all right.
Like I'm 2.5 hours from the Redwood Forest, from part of it, but it goes all way along the coast. But I can look it up, and I could go there, but that's not Bilderberg, and really, that's just you don't see. I don't know. A lot of the
Bilderbergers also attend the Bohemian Grove, though.
Right, but they don't seem to get any information out of there. I mean, people are waking up to it, but that's because of Bilderberg, I think. But I mean, you know what I'm saying, though. Sure. I got laxed, and I realized that when I said, wow, what happened there this year? We got to stay on top of that. We got to keep informing people that it is still going on, and what they're up to. So I feel bad about that. Sorry, folks. Should have stayed on top of that. But I will next year.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah. But, Daniel Esteban, have you ever... Esteban, yeah, that guy is... I love
him. Yeah, he's awesome. Jack Blood had him on.
Oh, did he?
So he was on this network, yes.
He's a very intelligent man. I've been following him, since Obama. In fact, he came out. He's the one that inform me of how Obama really was and not to really listen to him. He's the one that woke me up to Obama before the election. And then, what do you know? Everything you said about him was true.
Oh, man, I knew all this crap, like, I don't know, I just have this instinctive thing going on inside, and I just knew.
And it sounds too good to be true.
It is. It usually is stupid, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I was completely like enthralled with Ron Paul, so perhaps maybe I shouldn't say that.
I still believe in what he said.
I do too.
So and he is still doing good things. I mean, he's still involved. You know, him to his son. His son is a separate person.
Yeah.
You can't put what Rand Paul does on Ron Paul.
Right. Exactly.
You know, I mean, Ron Paul was a politician, let's face it. But I think, and I still think, the man was sincere and that he is trying for change, and he has done it. He woke up a lot of
people. He did. That definitely happened under with that whole 2008 presidential run. That just being allowed to be in the debates like that, people were like, I have never heard anybody speak this way ever in my life, my whole entire life. Not at the debates, man. And that really put a lot of sparks under people's asses, which needed to happen.
And the young people, it got young people involved in politics, and they're still involved.
Yes. All of the people that I knew, you're right, all the people that I knew, like in 2008, that just got fires lit under their asses, they're still involved with, like, the Campaign for Liberty and all that stuff even today. So
yeah, so it's all good. I still respect and admire Ron Paul. I think Rand Paul is just a politician trying to get elected, but I do. I respect the man for what he has accomplished.
Right. Yeah, I got to agree with that. So, I mean,
people, we get people, we put them on a pedestal, and then we tear them down.
Yeah.
Or we find someone that's doing something good, we got to find a reason not to believe them. We got to find a reason for them doing that because they're not really doing it for the reason they say. And that, is wrong because a lot of the people out there are really real and they really are trying. But you have both sides. But you can't, if someone's out there doing good, 3 cheers for them. Yay, I'm glad. I'm even glad for some of the things that Rand Paul has put through and woke up people to. No one's perfect. And I don't think it's our place to cut down anybody. If you don't believe them or whatever, just ignore them.
It's difficult because if you say that you're for the Constitution or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Regardless of what you think about the Constitution and blah blah blah. But if you say you support something vehemently in your politics, and you go and you vote like against that, I start to get problems with you. I didn't approve that Rand Paul voted for the NDAA. I don't like his views upon this amnesty crap. That is that's not supporting the Constitution.
And I agree
in any way, shape, or form.
But then he did wake up people to the fact about anyone with a cut on their hand could be considered a terrorist, where most people didn't realize that. I don't agree with anyone 100%. I don't even agree with myself 100%. But, you got to evaluate each thing. You can't say, okay, this person did this and I don't like it, so I'm not going to like anything that person does.
I see your point. But,
when someone does something good and it wakes up people, I appreciate it. Even if I don't agree with anything else they do, if they wake up even one person, I appreciate it.
Right.
So, I don't like trying to downgrade anybody. I just, if I don't agree, if I think, I try not to do that because I think that lessens your credibility. Unless it's something like the committee on the IRS or something like that. But, everybody has an opinion.
Yep, I agree. I mean,
a lot of people, the Bundy Ranch, look at now, a lot of people disagree with that and everything. I am 100% behind the man. That's why I went there, and I have strong opinions about it. And there are people that, think he's a freeloader and stuff, and they have their opinions, and that's fair. But, I don't call people names that disagree with me, and I don't think people should call me names if they disagree with me. That's not being an adult. And as soon as somebody starts calling somebody names, I get my ignore button, just goes boing. I don't hear it anymore. And that's what more people have to do. And I don't have the right to judge anybody,
Right.
So I try not to.
Yeah, that's yeah, I see. I mean, I see your point.
Except for Hillary and Obama.
Holy crap,
This goes on and on. But you know what I mean. I don't call people names, and I try not to be offensive because I disagree with them. There are ways to discuss things without, calling names. And
being
stuff.
An asshole. There
right,
Oh my God, it's Tuesday. I can feel Kevin Blanche. F-bomb's coming.
Oh, I just seen a thing too. He's in Canada right now.
Oh, is he really? Jeez,
yeah.
He gets around. That dude gets around. I mean, he went from New York to freaking San Francisco or wherever he was in California a little recently, and gosh, now he's in freaking Canada. That's amazing.
I'm pretty sure because it just got posted that he goes, I'm in Canada, and it said who he was with. I'm trying to find it. It was very close here. Oh, God, I don't know where he went. But anyway.
The sky's getting weird around here.
Like how?
Like weird and grayish orange. Kind of strange looking.
Wow, and it's not sunset, so...
No, it's kind of looking weird out there.
Uh-oh. I know.
Probably check the radar.
I watch the sky constantly anymore. I've always been a cloud watcher,
Me too.
Lay there and make things out of the clouds. Okay, here it is. I am in Canada with Troy Livingston, Shane Russell, Tom Ackerman, Jeff Palico. Wow, Calgary is an amazing place. The Canada Rookies. Wow, wow, wow. My radio show this morning. We are working on the phone issues right now. I have a lot of videos. I will be getting them up. Huh, that's cool. He does get around. How does that man?
He gets around, man. He really does. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, even when there's nobody else around to like when he went to San Francisco and there were no other protesters, he's there. Kevin's your man. Just follow that man. You'll know what's going on as far as radiation and cancer and the evil people of this country. So, can't wait.
Yeah, there we go. That's Kevin Blanche is following us right here on UCY.tv.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, where do we go from here?
I don't know. I mean, everywhere I look, all I see is the IRS or immigration where I was just glancing over this immigration, and now the the Obama administration, they are releasing whole families into the U.S. and telling them, well, report in 15 days, at the thing. And that is on top of the 52,000 children traveling illegally in America. There's they say they believe to exceed 40,000 whole families into the United States, and they won't give up the numbers. And they won't give up the numbers of how many reported in that 15 days.
Oh, hell no, they're not going to give up the numbers. Are you kidding? That would create panic.
And that's 92,000, and that's just the ones that were counted. And billions of dollars. This is really irritating me to no end. Now, I guess the militia are thinking about going down there. I've seen where they were calling for them.
Well, I mean, there already is, like, militia have been patrolling the borders for a long time. I'm kind of wondering where the hell these guys are.
Well, they're calling for them to come down in force. I seen the alert yesterday.
Who called that?
Let's see if I can find it.
Yeah, please do, because that's important.
Because it said alert, alert. Okay, here we go. Let's see. I'm pretty sure that
Was that a government agency that's calling for that, or
no? No, it was a militia group. The
militia group's calling for themselves to get called out.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
They're calling for, and they sent out an alert to other these are the ones that are down on the border. These are the ones calling out to all available militia members across the country to come down there, because and build the fence. I think he said. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure he said to help build this fence and to stop this, because it's insanity the amount of people that are coming over and with no deterrent at all.
Right.
And none. You know, no saying, hey, stay back. None. So anyway, I seen that alert, and I'm still looking for it because it was just yesterday. But they're saying they're needed badly.
Well, yes, I would agree with that.
Because our government isn't going to do anything to protect our borders, so they're calling on the militia to go down and build the fence, secure it, and, do the government's job for them.
Started raining really bad. I had to close my door.
Wow, with the yellow clouds?
Yeah, it just dumped on us. It's pouring now.
Wow.
That's cool, though. Yeah, no one else is doing anything about it. The militia, whoever's available can afford to go out and do this should probably do it. And, who the hell is going to be, who the hell are they going to, how are they going to, afford all that fencing? I mean, where's this going to come from? I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah, They can afford to give each illegal $10,000, but they can't afford to put up a freaking fence.
Right, and we can afford to have SWAT teams come out to citizens' houses and shoot them and stuff, but we can't send the SWAT teams down there to protect the borders.
Right. Absolutely. And just like we were saying earlier, with all the diseases and stuff. Do you have something to read?
No, I'm still looking for it.
Okay. Well, then I'll just go on since we're talking about this again.
Okay.
With all the diseases those people are bringing in with them, never mind the freaking cost and all the money that's being sent down there to take care of these people. That kind of pales in comparison to this looming health crisis. Many of the thousands of illegal immigrant children and teens across the United States border are carrying deadly, contagious diseases that could easily create a major health crisis in this country, doctors say. And what were we saying earlier? We were saying forced inoculations to everybody because, now here we have this health crisis looming.
Exactly.
Right? We just said that today. We just said it earlier. It
says here it is.
All right. I'll just. I started. I'll just read just some of it, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead. I gotta find what's playing.
Okay. In an exclusive interview with Breitbart News, Dr. Jane Orient, internal medicine specialist and the executive director of the Association of American Physicians and Surgeons, said that by admitting these huge groups of children who come from countries where medical screenings are minimal and hygiene is poor, the United States is at risk for epidemics and serious diseases and viruses that the nation has not seen in years. TB, tuberculosis, is the single most dangerous disease because it is highly contagious and can be easily picked up at the mall, at school, or on the bus. Orient told Breitbart News, cases coming from south of the U.S. border can be very resistant to medications. They don't respond to traditional antibiotics, and the few drugs that may respond to are often toxic with lots of side effects. I think I said this yesterday. I think I said it maybe earlier this morning. Antibiotic-resistant TB is one of the worst things you could possibly get, people.
Right. And it's very contagious.
Oh, it's unbelievably. And then here we got, the Ebola and all these other viruses going around.
Scabies, staph infections.
Oh God! And then that lung infection that's going around in the Caribbean, that's being spread. They're coming at us with everything they got, guys. They're just unleashing hell upon us.
Yeah.
Legal immigrants have always been required to undergo health screenings, Orient continued, but these kids coming in have no medical screenings and no vaccine records. They're likely coming here with a number of infectious diseases that will spread like wildfire. Here we go. Norovirus. Oh man, if you know anything about norovirus, is also extremely contagious with symptoms such as vomiting and diarrhea. That's the stomach flu, guys. All we need is one outbreak of that virus and we would have an overwhelming public health crisis. We use lots of intravenous fluids to rehydrate people, but these types of illnesses, who have these type of illnesses, but what if we have a shortage of IV fluids? Our emergency rooms would be overloaded. We no longer have natural immunity against diseases such as measles and chickenpox. Who cares about measles and chickenpox, guys? That's who cares about getting those? But because we haven't seen them in the country for years, many doctors have never even seen these diseases and so may not recognize them. Do you guys see where this is all going? As we were talking about this morning. They're setting the stage so that every little sniffle, every little cough, every little eye infection is going to require a vaccine. Okay, it says, Orient said that while the public health risks are enough of a serious concern, she is also worried that the psychological trauma of these young children sent away from their families at such an early age. Psychological trauma. Yes, that's the key words there. Despite the reasons we hear about why families are sending babies and toddlers across the U.S. border, there's no substitute for a mother's love and closeness, even if you live in a dangerous area with gangs and drug cartels, Orient said. Why not build secure facilities in Guatemala, for example, instead of sending toddlers and children on a dangerous trip where they'll encounter even more criminals? Yes, such as child sex rings and enslavement.
Right.
It just pisses me off. So we're coming up to 10 more minutes. I'm going to just finish this, I think, real quick. Writing at the Monitor on Friday, Dr. Elizabeth Lee Valet, a physician with practices in both Tucson and Dallas, agreed with Orient. She noted that the quote-unquote invisible travelers coming across the U.S. border, in addition to TB, measles, include hepatitis, malaria, Chagas disease, a parasitic infection, and dengue fever. A public health crisis, the likes of which I have not seen in my lifetime, is looming, Valet said. Okay, here we go, guys. Onto your seatbelts.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's about to get a lot worse. Hardest hit by exposures to these difficult-to-treat diseases will be the elderly, children, immunosuppressed cancer patients, patients with chronic lung disease or congestive heart failure. Drug-resistant tuberculosis is the most serious risk. But even other diseases like measles can cause severe complications and death. Yeah, for people who are immunocompromised, immunosuppressed, and compromised. Yes, that's absolutely true. They could die from a flu. Other illnesses, along with scabies, head lice, also thrive in children that are transported by bus and herded into crowded shelters. courtesy of the federal government, wrote Valle, and treatment costs are borne by taxpayers. Oh, yes, of course. We all know that. Orient affirmed that in Tucson, school buildings have not been in use for years, are being considered as shelters for young illegal immigrants. Okay. I think we were just reading that yesterday as well. Some of these buildings are in total disrepair, having been vandalized for years, and, of course, there is no security, she explained. Our public health departments complain of being overtaxed by a dozen cases of measles or whooping cough, Valle wrote. How can they cope with thousands of patients with many different and uncommon diseases? Americans, especially Medicaid patients, will see major delays for treatment. That is crazy.
Yeah, something's got to be done about the borders. And I found that call out to the militia. It says, we are now hearing word that militias across the nation are considering mobilizing to assist in gaining control of the border, much like the militia mobilized to help defend the Bundy Ranch in Nevada from the overreach. An alert went out across the internet recently in response to Texas' announcement of a border surge, encouraging the Texas militias to converge on Laredo to secure that sector of the border, according to Breitbart. So, and it has the went out and everything, but it says there are an estimated 500 militia troops already guarding the border in Arizona, and some militias in Arizona, Oklahoma, and other states across the country are offering their assistance to the Texas militia if they are invited to come help. Not everyone is pleased, though, and according to the Tea Party org, there are questions about whether the Texas government would welcome the help of the militias in their border surge or not, with some claiming the governor wants to work with them while others are telling them to stay away. You know, anyone that refuses help to defend our borders is a traitor or is against American citizens, flat out.
Yeah.
Straight out.
Yeah, that surprises me that the governor would be willing to work with them. But that's exactly how this shit should be working. If you have a problem, you call the governor's supposed to call the militias out. That's how
right. The governors are having a problem because they're sending these immigrants, even if you're not a border state, they're sending them to your state without your permission.
You know what? We've got a lot of abandoned houses up here, man. Send them up here. No, don't send them up here. That's a bad idea. Bad idea. Then I didn't say that.
No, send our homeless there.
Damn.
Put our homeless in buildings. Give our homeless medical attention. Give our homeless food.
Crazy, man. I don't know. The militia should get down there and do what they can. I agree with that. But, I mean, they should... It should be like a scream out, like, help us. Please help us. We actually
politicians aren't going to want them there because politicians hate the militia.
The thing is they're trying to demonize militia and Tea Party groups and all this stuff. They can't be seen as helpful in any way, shape, or form. So that's why they don't want them down there.
Right, they don't want them going down there and doing, the government's job.
Right.
And people seeing that they're really standing up for the Constitution and for our country. Can't have that because, they're just a bunch of wild outlaws as far as, but
they're actually a bunch of domestic terrorists.
Right. And while the politicians in Washington are law-abiding citizens looking out for us.
Well, I say send all the illegals to the White House. That'll fix them.
Go.
That's where they should all go.
Send them. They got plenty of room.
They got lots of room there. There's lots of white buildings there in that area. Send them all there.
And how many mansions do our politicians own that are empty?
That's right. A ton of them.
Like the president in Uganda, Uruguay, he's given up his beach mansion to the homeless left because of the wars over there. He's taking these orphans in and giving them run to that mansion.
Wow.
His little house. That guy is amazing. He was smoking a joint with the guy who was interviewing him.
Who?
In Uruguay. Not, yeah, no.
But the president of Uruguay was smoking a blunt with what?
With the reporter, yes.
The president was?
He made it, it's legal there.
No, I know that, but...
yeah. He believes in it, and he knows it as a medicine. You can go on YouTube and just look up the interview. You know, and the man, he gives away all his money that he makes, lives in this little house, and then the mansions that they gave him, he is opening up to orphans that he's taken in that have been left orphaned from the wars.
Wow, that's cool as hell. Right on for the president of Uruguay.
And he did time in prison, too.
Damn.
Yeah, he's an older gentleman, and the man, he's just, I mean, he's got so much love in his heart, you know, and he's doing things that no other country wants to do. Yep. And his people love him.
Yep, absolutely. All right, well, here we go. Stay tuned for Post Ignorance with Kevin Blanche. He's in Canada, from what we gather, and we're going to have to transfer everything over to Dan pretty quick here. So, then at the 1 o'clock hour, we got The Edge with John Stokes, and at 3 is Jack Blood Show.
I like Jack Blood Show.
Yeah, me too. I wish I could have met him. 6 o'clock, we got the Ocelli Effect with Chuck Ocelli. Hooray! And then at 8, we got the Continual Condition with Jonathan and Steven. Then at 10 is Primer Time with Dan and Michael. Then at 11 is Prepper Chicks After Dark, playing Conflicted on the air. And so Tuesday is a huge UCY day. So stay tuned for that, and make sure you check out all of the sponsors. Clickety click, guys. You know, she's just getting 2 cents a day. You know what I mean?
I just bought my pressure canner through Amazon through the site. So.
Oh, right on. Good for you, pressure canner. Hey, there you go. Just, you know, if you're gonna go through Amazon, go through UCY.tv and get it from there. So that's the best way to do it.
Or you can make a $5 donation a month, which really would help, and, you know, give up a couple cups of coffee and help us out would be nice.
There you go. And you buy people smileys and stuff, too, so I got to thank you on air for that.
You're welcome. We got to have
totally awesome. It's so much fun. Those things are awesome. So we all thank you, and I'm sure everybody in the chat room thanks you, too.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, stay with us for Kevin. I'm sure he's got a lot to say. He's with some pretty far out people out there, man.
Fuck yeah!
Yeah. Oh. But you know, when he says it, it sounds different for some reason.
I know. It's just his delivery method. I think it's.
Okay.
All right, guys. I'm hanging up. Everybody have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.